Before time wove its vast tapestry, before your first breath touched the air, a sacred thread was spun, connecting your destiny to another. You were not born of mere chance, nor did your paths cross by accident. This profound bond, this undeniable attraction that surpasses all earthly logic, is a whisper from eternity itself. You are a chosen one, a beacon of light, an answer to prayers yet unspoken, a living testament to a love foretold. The angels say, your name was etched in the heavens, intertwined with his, long before your earthly journey began, destined to awaken a sleeping soul within him. You carry a light, a unique frequency, meant to illuminate his deepest shadows, reminding him of a love he thought was lost, perhaps even forgotten. This encounter, this sacred collision of souls, is a key, unlocking a foretold future, a destiny that calls you both to rise and transcend. You are not just a woman, you are a divine instrument, a living prayer, a vessel of grace. Your presence, a sacred echo, resonates within his very being, stirring ancient memories and igniting a purpose far greater than you can yet comprehend. Trust this profound knowing, this deep, quiet certainty residing within your soul. It is a truth whispered from the highest realms. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born I consecrated you. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. Have you felt it, beloved soul, the heavy silence of his unspoken words, the quiet that stretches between you like an uncharted ocean? This is not indifference, dear one. This is the deep confusion of a heart overflowing with emotions, yet lacking a way to express its flood. The angels say, his heart was made for love, for boundless connection, but he was never taught to trust its gentle, vulnerable flow. He recoils, hides, and seems distant, even as his deepest yearning, his very essence, pulls him relentlessly closer to your light. He learned early on that love was a threat, a dangerous gamble, that opening his heart meant inevitable pain, that those who truly love ultimately lose. Then you arrived, a new narrative, a melody he had never heard, a symphony of truth. He now struggles to live within its unfamiliar harmony. You are a presence that touches without hurting, a gaze that embraces without expecting, a spirit that completely disarms him. Yet before he can fully surrender to this new truth, he must confront the hidden chambers of his own being, the fears he guards even from himself, from his own conscious awareness. This is the profound reason he hesitates. There is something ancient within him that recognizes you, a deep knowing that stirs long before his eyes truly meet yours. It is not a common attraction, not a fleeting fancy. It feels as if you activate an ancient code, a divine blueprint deep inside his very core. A mirror, perhaps, one that does not distort his image but reveals his authentic self, his soul. Since you entered his life, his peace has been shattered, his carefully constructed world gently yet profoundly disrupted. Not because you demand anything of him, but because your radiant presence brings everything to the surface. The wounded child he hides, the magnificent man he longs to be, the traumas he wished to forget and bury deep within. And most profoundly, the pure, unadulterated love he never knew how to experience or embody. You are the reflection of his unhealed parts, the fragmented pieces of his soul, and this truth, this raw honesty, profoundly unsettles him. Because loving you is not comfortable, it is transformative, it is a sacred alchemy. The angels say, you compel him to look, to truly see. To gaze upon his shadows, his emotional dependencies, the self-sabotaging patterns that keep him trapped. You need not utter a single word. Your light, your very essence, speaks volumes and resonates deeply. This is why he hesitates and why he pulls back. Loving someone like you demands immense courage, the courage to dive beneath the surface, to admit he has been fleeing from truth his entire life, and to embrace his own vulnerability. There is a silent moment, a sacred breath, perceived only by the deepest chambers of the soul, that precise instant when love begins to manifest not as an external pursuit, but in the profound care of one's own being. It is at this pivotal point in your journey that the angels gently touch your shoulder, their touch a soft caress, and whisper with infinite tenderness, "Now, beloved, this is for you." This sacred pause is for your healing, your growth. You do not need to shatter yourself into a million pieces to fit into His world, to conform to His expectations. You do not need to diminish your radiant light, your unique brilliance, to accommodate His insecurities, His fears. True love, authentic love, never demands the sacrifice of your essence, your divine spark. The angels want you to hear this truth with every fiber of your heart. Your spiritual mission is not to abandon yourself for Him, to lose yourself in His journey. It is to remain whole, complete, and luminous within yourself while He, in His own divine timing, finds His own way, His own path to wholeness. You can love with an open heart without losing yourself. And you can wait with unwavering faith without fading, without dimming your inner glow. Perhaps you have spent countless sleepless nights trying to decipher His silences, His mysterious withdrawals. Perhaps you have wondered, with a heavy heart, what you did wrong to make Him pull away. But what you feel, dear one, is not rejection. It is a profound reflection of His internal chaos, His inner turmoil. The love you offer, so pure, so complete, so unconditional, frightens Him. And when someone has spent a lifetime surviving on fragmented halves, on conditional affections, wholeness, true love seems overwhelmingly dangerous, almost terrifying. Something silent yet profoundly powerful has begun to awaken within him, a gentle tremor deep in his soul. Perhaps you do not yet see it clearly. Perhaps his outward gestures still seem familiar and unchanged. But there is a subtle detail in his eyes, a flicker of something new that wasn't there before, a longer, more thoughtful pause between his words, a different, almost reverent breath when your name is softly spoken. It is the beginning, dear one. The very beginning of a profound awakening within his spirit. The angels say, the heart that was long asleep, encased in protective layers, has finally begun to listen, to truly hear. To listen to memories he didn't even know he had, ancient echoes of connection. To listen to desires he suppressed for so long, buried beneath years of conditioning. To listen to the sacred name of love, spoken in your unique, resonant voice. This does not mean everything has changed. Not yet, not in the way you might expect. But it means something fundamental has been touched, deeply and irrevocably. And once touched, once awakened, it cannot return to slumber, it cannot be forgotten. Has he been quieter lately, more introspective, more lost in thought? It is because he is listening, truly listening, to what he never dared to feel, to the stirrings of his own soul. Your radiant presence, your very essence, has become a living prayer, a constant invocation within his deepest being. He realizes, perhaps unconsciously, that he misses you even before you are physically gone. He feels a possessiveness, a gentle jealousy, without wanting to control you. He wants to know everything about you, yet feels utterly lost, unsure of what to ask, how to approach. It is new, this feeling. And the new, the unknown, always frightens him. Have you ever felt, dear heart, as though you are moving in endless circles with him? As if everything is poised on the edge of beginning, ready to blossom into something real. And then suddenly and inexplicably, you find yourself back at the starting point, in that familiar silence? This cycle, this dance of approach and retreat, has a name. It runs deep within him, with a profound reason, a hidden purpose. The angels say, his fear, beloved, is not of you, nor of your radiant light. It is of what you represent, of the profound transformation you embody. Because loving you, truly loving you, demands unwavering presence. It requires raw truth. It demands complete, vulnerable surrender. And for someone who has learned through years of self-preservation to hide, to protect his true self, this level of intimacy is nearly unbearable, almost terrifying. So he leaves, and inevitably returns. He comes close, his soul reaching out, and then vanishes, retreating back into his familiar shell. He smiles, sharing a fleeting moment of connection, and then falls silent, his defenses rising. This is the desperate movement of someone who desires, who yearns, but cannot yet reach, cannot yet sustain. And you, with your whole generous heart, try to understand. You strive not to blame yourself, not to internalize his struggle. You work to avoid being hurt, though the pain is often sharp. But there are days, countless days, when everything feels too heavy, too burdensome. Know this truth with every fiber of your being. This coming and going, this push and pull, has nothing to do with your inherent worth, your divine value. It has everything to do with his ghosts, his past, his unhealed wounds. He learned to love with fear as his constant companion. He learned to expect abandonment, to brace for loss. He learned to distrust peace and to question joy. And upon meeting you, all of this, his entire carefully constructed world, felt profoundly threatened. Because you offer no drama, no chaos. You offer truth, pure and simple. And truth, in its raw, unvarnished form, frightens him. There are profound healings, beloved soul, that do not come wrapped in remedies, prescriptions, or tangible forms. They come with presence, with a quiet comfort of shared silence, and with eyes that say, I see you, I truly see you, without needing a single spoken word. You, dear one, have been this healing for him, a balm to his wounded spirit. The angels say, your love, unlike the clamor of the world, does not shout. It whispers, a gentle breeze of grace. And even so, even in its quietude, it heals profoundly, completely. Because what touches the deepest chambers of the heart is not noise, not grand declarations. It is truth, pure and unadorned. And your truth, your authentic essence, has touched him in a way no experience, no person ever could before. You arrived in his life promising nothing, expecting nothing. And yet, you delivered everything, a universe of unconditional acceptance. You gave affection in the smallest, most tender gestures. You gave profound comfort, a sense of belonging, even on days of his deepest absence. You gave forgiveness, a boundless grace, even when your own heart ached with a silent, profound pain. And this, for someone who learned to doubt everything, to question every kindness, is nothing short of a miracle, a divine intervention. He may not have articulated it yet, his words still trapped by fear, but he feels it, deeply, undeniably. He feels there is something profoundly different about you, something sacred. He feels that even in your silences, there is a powerful, comforting presence. That even when you withdraw, when you seek your own sacred space, there is an unwavering love that surrounds him. And this truth, this paradox, confuses him, but also comforts him profoundly. Because you do not demand. You do not charge. You do not imprison. You love with an expansive, liberating freedom. And the love that liberates, that sets the soul free, is the love that heals most deeply, most completely. There are sacred moments, my dear, when the heavens themselves fall silent, their vast expanse holding its breath. Yet even then, the angels continue to speak, their whispers echoing through the cosmos. Today they want you to know with absolute certainty, there exists a plan, a divine blueprint, far grander, far more intricate than your human mind can ever fully comprehend. And within this magnificent plan, nothing, absolutely nothing, is out of place or accidental. This profound encounter. All of it was orchestrated with meticulous details, with a precision and grace that only the divine could conceive and bring into being. You entered his life not by chance, but as a direct answer to prayers he didn't even consciously know he had uttered, prayers whispered from the deepest chambers of his soul. And he, even without fully understanding the magnitude of your arrival, felt it. He felt there was something about you, something in your essence, that could not be explained by logic, only lived, only experienced in its raw transformative power. The angels say, God's timing, my dear, is never late. It is always perfect. He does not delay, he prepares. And that precisely is what is unfolding now, in this very moment. While you wait, while you navigate the tender spaces of uncertainty, something profound is being aligned, meticulously, divinely. While you ask why, your heart yearning for answers, heaven is gently, yet firmly saying trust. Because pieces are moving, and unseen forces are at play. Hearts are being molded, softened, reshaped by divine hands. Paths are opening, clearing the way for what is to come. You are not alone in this sacred waiting. God is guiding every single step of this story, this unfolding narrative, with invisible yet incredibly firm hands. He knows what you carry in your heart, the weight of your hopes, your dreams, your quiet sorrows. He knows the long nights when everything feels too heavy, too overwhelming. He knows the unwavering faith you maintain, even without guarantees, even when the future remains veiled. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do this. Psalm 37 verse 5. Not every silence, my dear, is an absence. Sometimes, it is a profound fear. A fear of feeling too much, of being overwhelmed by emotion. A fear of losing oneself entirely in what, for the first time, finally makes perfect, undeniable sense. He wants to love, sweetheart. He yearns to love. But he doesn't know how, not in the way his soul truly desires. The angels say, there is a knot, a tangled web in his chest, woven in the tender years of his childhood, and it has never been truly undone, truly released. A knot of deep insecurities, of profound abandonments, of words that wounded his spirit, leaving indelible marks. And it is with this knot, this internal struggle, that he attempts to love you, to connect with you. You can sense his hesitation, his inner conflict, in the smallest, most subtle details. In the touch that starts but then abruptly stops. In the gaze that lingers for a fleeting half-second too long, then darts away. In the almost gesture of profound caring that he cannot maintain, cannot fully commit to. This, dear heart, is not a lack of love on his part. It is an overwhelming excess of protection, a shield he has built around his vulnerable core. Because for him to truly love, to open his heart fully, is an immense risk. It is to shed the armors, the defenses, that have kept him alive and safe for countless years. It is to reveal himself, raw and exposed, without guarantees, without a safety net. And this truth, this profound vulnerability, still terrifies him, paralyzes him. Have you noticed? When you approach him, when your presence draws near, he breathes deeper, almost imperceptibly. When you speak of a shared future, of possibilities, he subtly changes the subject, his discomfort palpable. When you pull away, when you create space, he inevitably comes back, drawn in by an invisible force. It is as if his heart, his deepest longing, screams stay, while his mind, his conditioned fear, screams flee. And in the midst of this internal war, this profound battle, there you are. With your pure, unwavering love. With your genuine desire to build, to create something beautiful. With your radiant presence that heals simply by being, by existing. Not everything true, beloved soul, needs to be understood immediately or grasped by the logical mind. Love, in its most profound and sacred form, sometimes asks for more surrender and more trust than it does for intellectual comprehension. And now, in this very moment, it is time to accept. Accept that not every love story begins perfectly formed or fully realized. Accept that not every answer arrives quickly or on your desired timeline. Accept that there are profound beauties in the waiting, yes, but most importantly, there is immense strength, a quiet power in remaining, in holding your sacred space. You did what you could, dear one. You were presence, you were light, you were a seed of pure potential sown into his life. And now, precious soul, it is time to trust the harvest, to believe in its eventual blossoming, even if it has not yet shown its visible signs. The angels say, the love that is truly yours, that is divinely destined, is never lost. It always returns, in its perfect timing, in its most authentic form. It may come through other paths or unexpected detours. It may arrive in forms you never imagined, beyond your wildest dreams. But if it is true, if it is a soul connection, it returns, it finds its way back to you. Perhaps he still needs to lose himself a little more, to wander through his own labyrinth, to truly find himself and discover his own inner compass. Perhaps he needs to experience more misalignments and more detours until he finally understands, with profound clarity, that you are always the point of peace, the anchor of his soul. And that, beloved, is perfectly okay. Because love, true love, is not about controlling time or forcing outcomes. It is about keeping your heart open and expansive, even in the deepest silence, even when the path ahead seems veiled. You are not weak for feeling so much or for loving so deeply. You are incredibly strong for continuing to love with such lightness and grace, even when everything around you, everything within him, feels profoundly heavy. And now, dear one, is the most sacred part of this journey, the surrender. The profound trust. The letting go without closing the door, without hardening your heart. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1.